like CHP is getting up closer.
Getting close.
Getting really close right there, you know, and that's the thing, and it is just what you said it was. You know, they might be, you know, planning out, bring this thing to an end. It is in the Long Beach area, and again, you know, they haven't talked to the Long Beach PD. It looks like he's getting really close, if I would call it.
There it goes.
Yeah, this guy seems to know what's going on there. Now, that's the first dangerous thing we've seen this guy do right there, cutting into oncoming traffic. Now we're in a residential neighborhood. They might not do that pit in here because there are a lot of cars around there, but it does seem like he is being very aggressive, getting up next to him
there. There they go.
And again, you know, just trying to find that spot. You know, they don't want to spin this guy off into other parked cars. Again, though, you can see this guy really wanting to bring this to an end. CHP might actually even be on their loudspeakers down there telling this guy just to pull over. And again, though, oh, look at that. There's some cars right there. Again, he's going about 45 miles an hour. It looks like he wants to do it, but every time this guy gets a little bit closer, that SUV kind of speeds up there, makes that move to get away from him. So this guy pretty savvy about what's going to happen to him right there. Going through a major right there. Again, another green light. Lucky for this guy, but it won't be so lucky here shortly. And we are definitely in Lakewood right now, as I'm being told.
Even when lights are red, Stu, it seems like they change right to green right as this SUV is approaching it. So again, very
there you go.
That was close.
Just tapped his bumper right there, making the turn. You can see some of the Lakewood sheriffs. They're on scene. They're actually been called. This guy is making the move right now. He's going to trying to give him that nudge to get him to stop. There you go. Got a pit. Yeah, this guy basically just kind of pulling over and you know, still refusing to yield. We got to have to move around just a little bit, get that tree out of the way, because this guy does seem to have stopped. Officers are there behind him right now. And again, you know, these officers not playing around. You saw that aggressiveness with the officers. Now they're out with their guns. This guy's kind of stuck here now. He's got that car parked in front of him, doors popping open, and it looks to be a female just basically ignoring the officers, trying to run inside the building. We're going to try to make a move here to get around it, but it definitely seems like this person just was trying to get to a location and just stay away from officers, which was never a good idea.
Well, Stu, the best part of this pursuit, it looks like the SUV, the female driver, as we just saw, with purse in hand, running away from police officers, pulled over right against the curb, even missing the car that's parked right in front of it. So no injuries, and it appears, is that, Stu, you think is that the lady right there in the white?
Yes, that's her. She is. They have taken her. They're taking her into custody here in the front lawn, and basically it looks as though, you know, just trying to get to this residence. You can see those other officers right there in the darker uniforms. Those are Lakewood sheriffs, and then of course you see the CHP guys there taking her into custody. This woman just not wanting to stop for police this evening, making her way from the Orange County area up here to Lakewood, where basically she just kind of had to stop, or maybe this was her destination. That's to be determined. But again, taking her into custody out here, CHP doing an awesome job keeping the people safe and taking this suspect into custody.
Well, law enforcement being very aggressive here tonight. Sometimes we see them keep their distance, but it really paid off here tonight.
Oh, most definitely. And, you know, the CHP, they're trained for that kind of driving. They're trained for those maneuvers. And, you know, and those are the guys that usually do it. We see a lot of pursuits out here. CHP usually the best in those pit maneuvers, especially where they use the cars to bump the bumper of the vehicle. But you saw it. Heavier vehicle that when they tapped the bumper there, it basically just broke the lights on the police vehicle. And then later on, they tried it again, but she was already at the curb. It really looks like she just wanted to get to this address. You got to wonder, though, that the timing involved. But the way she just got out of that car and walked away, like, hey, I'm not looking at you, and if I don't see you, you're not there. And that's never going to work with any kind of law enforcement.
Indeed, Stu, and if you're just joining us, we are watching the end of a pursuit that started in Orange County in the Garden Grove area. We're not sure why officers originally wanted to pull over this woman. We are now seeing her being taken into custody. I believe four officers carrying her into the back of that patrol car. Obviously, she does not want to go. This was a pursuit that started originally in Garden Grove, went up the 405 freeway northbound, going at several freeway speeds, as Stu was telling us, anywhere from 55 to 65 miles an hour. This driver, female driver, not doing any erratic behavior, And it really wasn't until she got into the surface streets there of Lakewood that officers were able to approach behind her and create a quick pit maneuver move that eventually didn't spin the car around, but pushed her up against that curb where it appears that's exactly where she wanted to be, Andrea.
And luckily, traffic was light enough on this Sunday night that there were no injuries, no real incidents to report, but law enforcement really being aggressive tonight and getting this situation under control, and looks like she is getting put in that squad car as we speak. Either
that or they're putting her back on the lawn here. There's quite a bit still going on here. Stu, what can you see from there?
Well, you know, obviously she is being very defiant with officers out here. You know, there was a moment there where they were talking to her. They had her standing next to the car, obviously giving her an option, probably saying, hey, look, get in the car, be cool about this. You know, we're gonna, one way or another, you're coming with us. And she's obviously choosing the other. We also see that officers are talking to a resident on the front lawn out there, that this woman came out of the home, possibly a relative. You know, again, we don't know. That's all, it's kind of speculation right now. But officers from the CHP definitely have an extremely defiant woman on their hands this evening, as she did not want to stop. This created this long pursuit, and now is refusing to go into custody, refusing to get into the car. You saw them carrying her a few minutes ago. They're going to start. They're probably going to use another type of cuffing system, maybe to bind her legs, so that they can place her into that vehicle. Again, this is, you know, basically the officers' hands are pushed. They have to do this to get her in that vehicle so that she'll be safe in the back of the vehicle and create no harm to herself.
And Stu, I don't know if in the meantime you've heard, maybe over the radio scanners, why she was wanted in the first place.
You know, that still is a mystery to us as well. We understood it came out of the Orange County area. We knew that from the get-go. You know, they were calling failure to yield instead of pursuit, which is one of the ways, you know, that they usually say that, you know, maybe it was something simple like just a traffic stop that they wanted, and in the end there they just turned into our full-blown pursuit out here. Again, I'm just checking some information right now. That's but again, started in South Orange County. That's what we're hearing, and again, we don't have a want, the original reason, but it started way down south in Orange County.
Yeah, and Stu, what is clear is that this female driver did not want to stop, did not want to pull over. We still do not know why. In this case, again, as you mentioned, a pursuit that started in Orange County, ending in Lakewood. And as you see there on the right side of your screen, this is when officers finally were able to do a mini pit maneuver, we could call it. I saw a small spark from the bumper happen when that actually took place. And eventually this female driver pulled over to the side there. It's not unusual. We have seen female drivers behind the wheel of pursuits before, but definitely a very unusual thing to see.
And it stopped right in front of it. Looked like she was going to this destination, this house here in Lakewood, and that's when she looks like she's going to casually get out of her vehicle and approach the house. But of course, law enforcement was right behind her and is now in the midst of trying to get her into their squad car and take her into custody.
Stay right there. KCAL 9 News at 8 o'clock. We'll be right back. We'll continue following this story and have all the news of the day when we return.